Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some things today, ladies and gentlemen. We got quite a few things to talk about. And yeah, we're 2 minutes into the stream right now. If you have not already followed, hit that follow button. Follow your boy. I'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's see what's going on with this whole Ludwig situation, because I heard that they actually have been responding to one another after this video that Tectone put out 2 days ago. So let's see what's happening here.
So I wasn't really going to talk about this. I wasn't really going to talk about the C9 Mango ordeal, but I believe there's another content creator who is once again skirting all blame, skirting all controversy, and skirting all blame to someone else, a good friend of his. While
I heard about this. So basically, Ludwig had a friend named Mango. He was like a severe alcoholic. Invited him to party. He got wasted at the party. And then when the backlash came from his friend Wild and out acting wild, Ludwig found a way to like maneuver into not taking the blame as well, knowing that he invited the person who already had a alcoholic problem. So yeah, pretty crazy situation, bro.
Feigning any accountability whatsoever. So in case you guys don't know, there was a streamer party hosted by a streamer called Ludwig. And Ludwig invited a whole bunch of streamers together in order to gather around, have a nice celebration, and promote alcoholism. Who does Ludwig personally invite? C9 Mango, a person who is a known alcoholic who has, surprise, surprise, a very bad alcohol addiction. He's
That's
also
wild,
from
bro.
C9, a group of man children who celebrate being for the boys and being fucking weird losers where they do goofy ass cringe shit. Well, it's not goofy and cringe. It is to me. I'm not a partier. I'm not a drinker. I don't like doing drugs. I attempt to be as straight edge as possible. If I have to,
I've only drank one time, and it was my last time. It was a terrible decision. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Same thing with it. Anything that had to do with just like, I guess, partying. That was never my saying. Even around people, I'd be awkward and socially awkward. Like I wouldn't know how to really like how to, you know, adapt like everybody else at the party culture. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right with you, my boy. I'm right with you.
pop a White Claw to do an episode of the Unsubscribed podcast, I will. But I'm drug free. I'm alcohol free. 99.9% of the fucking
Fire.
time. And C9 Mango, he did some weird ass shit. He was humping pillows and humping like mannequins near women, getting very close to them, and it made him uncomfortable. It did. But the problem is that when you host a streamer party and you knowingly give absurd amounts of alcohol to known,
that's gonna create problems. To like knowingly invite somebody who's already an alcoholic, knowing you're going to possibly have to take responsibility if anything goes wrong, like all those things should be in your mind of like, maybe it ain't a good idea to invite them to this party. You know what I'm saying? Like, why even do that? I don't understand that part. Like, what makes you just say, I'm gonna invite this dude knowing he's a drinker, a heavy drinker? That's crazy. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Somebody let me know why you would do that.
alcoholics, people who have issues, and when anything goes wrong, you say, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. This has nothing to do with me.
Because you got to control the narrative. Oh crap, everybody's turning on me. Oh crap, how do I get myself out of this situation? And we live in a time now, I said this the other day. I was telling my brother, I was like, we live in the time now to where the truth matters. And if you're trying to be like, you know, like a slippery snake moving slimy, that's gonna be exposed. This is the time of truth. And so if you at any way have moved in a way of like a politically correct person, you are screwed in this time because the culture shift has changed. This is the era of truth. So if you moving slimy, that ain't the time. That is not the time. That's for real. I'm being real.
And he's excommunicated from everything. Ludwig, why did you invite Mango to this party who you know has alcohol problems and then do celebrations when he was 3.2.
I need ad block here, bro. Double ads.
That time of year again.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Love
You know what? Why don't we let
I do not care for Love Island too, by the way. Yo, they promote the crap out of that show, man. Everybody be watching that show. It's like the New Jersey Shore, people say.
this clip play? C9 removed him from the org. I don't really care about that. Maybe he does. I think a lot of orgs are fake as fuck. And to be honest, while we can just say, oh, let's excommunicate this guy. He's never invited to anything ever again. And all of his career opportunities are completely removed. Nobody ever.
Oh, they're talking about the Mango guy, yeah, being excluded. You're excluded. Reminds me, Mike, the situation. Excluded.
Talk to him again. How about we stop worrying about self-preservation for 5 seconds? And maybe we just do the right thing. And we get this guy help. And we
Facts.
help this guy.
But he has to be willing to do that too. Because I've seen people where they try to help people, especially alcoholics, and that's a hard route to go down. Where it's like you try, you get them help, they go back to it, get them help, go. They have to be willing to really make a change. With anything in life, like you have to be willing to change.
With his alcohol addiction, we tell him to put down the fucking bottle, and we help him overcome his addiction, rather than just say, yeah, let's ruin his life even more after.
By inviting him to a party. Yeah, that is a crappy move.
One of his friends put him in a horrible situation that he should have never been in to begin with.
Yep.
Let's watch this shit.
He's like an alcoholic.
And by the way, I want you to listen to this again.
Mango is like an alcoholic.
Ludwig.
That's crazy, bro. Oh, that's a bad look. He said Mango is an alcoholic, and I actually know it, and I invited him here. Yo.
Invites a known alcoholic to this party. This is at the beginning, by the way, guys. This is at the beginning. He invites a known alcoholic. And by the way, I am not justifying anything that Mango did whatsoever. This guy has some demons he needs to fight.
Yep.
But let's focus on helping this guy first.
Yep.
But obviously, yeah, probably not having him at parties, a good fucking idea, because that shit was weird as fuck. But regardless, let's keep going here. So Ludwig invites a known alcoholic to his party. It gets worse.
Mango can drink 30 beers and act the same he does off no beers.
That's crazy.
Cap.
That's what I used to say when I would drink and drive.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, oh, dude, trust me, man. Yeah, I can drink a bottle of Jack Daniels and drive just fine. Yeah, let's listen to an alcoholic. Let's listen to what an alcoholic says.
He's a
Yeah.
machine of a man.
I feel like so many people have said stuff like that. Yo, I can do this. I can do that. Yo, you may have been able to get away with it, nothing happening, but that don't mean it'll keep happening forever.
He had 7 beers already
You're playing with your life, buddy.
today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000.
Probably maybe not let that guy have any more beers at your streamer event.
Yep. Hey, guys.
Or why even invite him there? That's the crazy thing. Knowing there's alcohol there. That's stupid.
This guy is a known alcohol abuser. So you know what I'm going to do to be a great friend? I'm going to give him more alcohol. Man, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right to do to a friend. I don't know, bro. Like, to do that and to move like that, it shows no care, for a person. I think that's also a reflection of the heart. This may be like a moment in time where he goes through a humbling experience where the whole internet's like, yo, that went cool or whatever. And he has no choice but to have accountability and then have a transformation maybe through, this situation or this experience, because to not have like in the mind, like, I am giving this person, or I'm allowing this person who's already has a problem in his life and like letting him add more fuel to the fire by alcohol all around this party and not care about it. That's crazy, bro. I'm not saying he may not care. I don't know. I don't know this man's mind, but that just sounds so like twisted,
He's the chick.
With Valkyrie immediately saying and expressing concern for, isn't this event enabling him? W's to Valkyrie for understanding how bad of an idea this is.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time champion. He's never lost.
We gotta do PB! Guys, Mango just blew a .25!
That's crazy.
So
You can hear cheering in the background too.
Mango already blew a .25 very near early on into the tournament. I believe a .08 is all you need for you to be pulled over and not allowed to be driving. So he is 3 times over the legal limit, and he's celebrating this. Ludwig is celebrating that he invited his friend.
Dude, that's so bad, bro. Oh my gosh. This is like one of them moments in YouTube where like a YouTuber has like a crazy scandal. Like a really big scandal. I mean, I know Logan Paul had the craziest one at one point. But this is crazy, bro. This is a wild one.
Over and got him, by the way, for now.
Love was nearly
Bro,
lost
these
until
ads.
Pizza Hut showed up.
Go get her.
Freaking ad blocker is what I need.
3 times over the legal limit. 0.05 in my country, 0.01 in BC Canada. I believe it's 0.08 in America, and they're in America. So I'm going to hold her to those standards. 0.25 is very fucking dangerous. And don't worry, guys, this is just the beginning.
Crazy. Is there any conversation about how like people like Ludwig and everybody else were encouraging him to drink?
No, nobody held this guy accountable at all.
But the internet did. There's such a shift in the internet, man. People are really not playing with just like sneaky behavior at all. Not anymore. Something shifted this last year or two. For real.
Nobody said, yeah, man, no, it's all Mango's fault. In what world? Okay, I want to remind you of one of the biggest supervillain moments in all of fucking anime. Are you guys familiar with Monster? Are you guys familiar with the antagonist Johan Kashibe? No, it's Johan. I think Johan Kashibe is from JoJo's Part 4. Johan, one of the biggest villains in anime history. Do we remember what happened when he gave alcohol to a known alcohol abuser? Yeah.
No, I don't even know who this is. I don't even know this story.
Wouldn't put someone live on camera, get them 4 times for now, 4 times over the legal, 3 times over the legal limit, and then say, all of their actions are their own. I had nothing to do with it. While he's celebrating.
Are you talking?
Look at this. Look. He's celebrating, putting the camera on him, cheering for him abusing more alcohol on camera.
I can't even hold it, bro. That sounds so demonic, bro. What? That sounds insane. Yo, that's wicked, bro.
Well, this guy's smiling, thinking, oh, dude, great. Meanwhile, Mango's numbers are down. He's pretty much willing to do anything to make numbers go up. And he's thinking, oh, so this is good content. This is what people want me to do. Wow, look at this. Yeah, let's give a cocaine addict more cocaine and cheer him on live on stream.
Guys, Mango just blew a .25.
That's crazy. Is there any conversation about how like people like Ludwig and everybody else were encouraging him to drink? Are you telling me this is what led to him getting banned from the event?
Yes.
If you're having him blow a breathalyzer and being like, oh my God, he's like triple the legal limit, you're part of the problem. Wouldn't you be like, hey, I'm Ludwig, I'm almost 30 years old. I probably know that this guy shouldn't be drinking so much. So since it's my event, I should pull him aside and tell him to stop or not encourage this.
Yep.
He didn't take any accountability whatsoever. We're going to keep going here.
Yelling and celebrating his insane amount of alcoholism.
3 times over the legal limit.
I'm not saying that
3 times. That's sad, man. Like I feel sad, bro. Like that's just crazy, bro. Just thinking about that. Somebody with a problem, then you're adding more fuel to the fire. Like you're just, gosh, that just sounds crazy.
that he's not responsible for
He is responsible for his own actions. However, Ludwig should be punished for enabling this.
anything that he did. But aren't you responsible for creating a safe environment? This does not create a safe environment.
Absolutely not.
Hey, everybody!
Ready for this?
Mango just blew a .32.
So apparently,
He went from a .25 to a .32, and everybody in this room cheered for an alcoholic suffering and falling victim to his vice.
But did everybody know, like Ludwig, though, is what I want to know.
And they cheered for it. And they said, yes, 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 drink more, drink more, drink more. This is such good content. Guys,
Dude, that's just...
.32.
Just thinking of that, like you're in a room and people are like celebrating somebody who is like literally drinking themselves to death. Like that's the most demonic thing I've ever heard. That's like some spiritual warfare in real life, bro. For real. I mean, that sounds twisted, does it not? It's like it's something out of a movie that's like the Twilight Zone or something. That just sounds not real. Bruh.
4 times over the legal limit. Guys, 0.32 is like go to the hospital level.
Yeah.
So apparently he was harassing people, because the argument's going to be like, well, I didn't know he was going to harass people. It really shouldn't matter. You shouldn't allow and encourage somebody to be.
So what he was doing was he was taking off his hat and he was humping it near people. And then he had a billboard of himself and he was humping it near people, which obviously didn't make anybody feel comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that would fly in any courtroom, but it was definitely fucking weird as shit. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird as fuck to watch. It's fucking lame-ass frat boy behavior.
Yeah.
But if you invite an alcoholic to your party and you get him blackout drunk.
Yeah, blackout wasted, and you're going to remember the next day. Bro.
You just say, well, whatever you do is your own fault. What are we doing here?
A 0.25% alcohol blood level drunk. That's insane. You should expect something irresponsible. What if instead of sexual harassment, he like ended up like hurting himself because he's so drunk? It's your event. What?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, bro. If something had happened to him, oh, it would have been worse. Oh my gosh. That would have been the craziest gone wrong situation of all time. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Being the host of that too.
Hey Meta.
Oh my gosh, these ads.
Play something chill.
Ah, jeez. Hey man, there's no way that thing is gonna fit.
Right. So Ludwig is so happy that Mango didn't do any damage to himself. And this is the way he skirted all accountability. Because once again, guys, if Mango had killed himself on that party, gotten drunk and fallen off a fucking ledge, Ludwig's career is over. Right? But because he didn't do that, and because he was humping a pillow and humping a mannequin, or humping a cardboard cutout of himself near women, now Ludwig's trying to act like the grand arbiter, the biggest virtue signaler on the platform, and say, oh man, I can't believe he did this to no fault of my own. What do you think an alcoholic's going to do when you give them 4 times over the legal limit of alcohol? They're probably not going to do smart things.
And it being live. That's the craziest thing. Like, it's all documented, you know? The actions that is shown in the stream, like all the bad behavior captured on camera, and then like, yo, everybody's seeing it. And clapping. This is wild.
He's laughing and he's smiling and he's clapping, while now 2 of his other friends have warned him, why are we celebrating this? Why are we doing this?
That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
And then he says again, 0.32 is not enough. I want to show you guys some real
Dude.
0.08 is considered legally intoxicated. So we are 4 times over that.
This is
Guys,
crazy.
A blood alcohol level of 0.30, to which
And I'm not trying to repeat the same stuff over and over. It's just like, yo, this dude got beyond the legal limit of alcohol, and then it's like, that's not enough, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go further. Like, it was like he was the entertainer of having a downfall for entertainment, bro. What?
0.02% above already is considered life-threatening and requires immediate medical attention. 0.40 are potentially fatal and require emergency treatment. And Ludwig at a 0.32 is saying, yeah, guys, let's up those numbers. And he skirted all accountability. A blood alcohol concentration of 0.15% or higher generally considered to be threshold for blackouts. So he is double this. In case you don't know what blackout drunk is, it's essentially you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Your body's moving on its own. It removes your pretty much common sense, and your body does whatever the fuck it wants to do, and you won't remember any of it. That happens at 0.15, guys. He's at 0.32. Let's keep going here.
That's
taking advantage of somebody with substance problems for entertainment purposes, and then when it goes wrong, you just blame them. He harasses these women all night, and they don't do. Why doesn't Ludwig stop this sooner? This is insane to me.
This wasn't like a one-time thing. He was humping his mannequin and humping his hat near women, which I will also be real. To all the women who just didn't just say, hey, bro, you're on stream. This is cringe as fuck. Ludwig, do something. I don't know why we didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't. Ludwig, why are you not taking care of your guest? This is happening live on stream. There's no way you didn't know. There's no way you didn't know. Secondly, why are we doing streamer events where we're promoting alcoholism this fucking heavy? What are we doing here? Like, it's so fucking gay that we're really that desperate for content that we think that giving alcohol to an alcoholic is good content. Let's keep going here.
I feel really bad about that, and you know, I reached out to anyone who.
Oh, this dude is like, it sounds like he just woke up the next day and it's like, yo, I gotta hop on this and make something sounding professional. You know what I'm saying?
I might have felt uncomfortable and talk to them, but also, and I already told Mango this, they're no longer inviting Mango to mobile news events. You know, it's a privilege.
That is crazy, bro. No longer inviting him to the events. With like avoiding from like basically he was the problem, but like no accountability of like I added to that problem. Like, wow, that's insane.
To go to an event, man. Like, the whole point of an event is like it's a fun thing to do, have a good time, and if somebody appearing jeopardizes somebody else having a good time, that just can't be a thing.
Okay.
He blames everything on Mango.
Yep.
Absolute spineless rat bastard. And now we know why he's another Hasan minion. Well, he will do everything for Hasan because he is spineless. He will skirt all accountability. Nowhere does he say, yeah, guys, maybe I shouldn't have cheered and celebrated and given an alcoholic 4 times life-threatening amounts of alcohol to this guy and take no accountability. Took none. Took fucking none. Zero accountability.
I mean, like, what do I do with this? Thank God you brought a.
With Asana, AI teammates are here to help
Bro,
keep
these
work on
ad
track.
blockers. I mean, I need an ad blocker,
Try
bro.
it for free.
Every ad, every
Dick's
second.
Epic
This is
4th of
crazy.
July sale is
There are
on.
too many
Take
ads
20%
on
off
YouTube,
mod
man.
bags and igloo coolers. 25
guy over, encouraged him to drink insanely, and then didn't do anything in the moment about him harassing the streamers, but then came on, and after there was
And canceled his entire fucking career after you put him in that situation.
backlash saying, oh, he's not invited anymore. Like, you're a loser. He invites a guy to his streamer event, gets him really drunk, encourages him to drink, and then doesn't do anything about it until there's backlash.
And it's all documented too. That's the craziest thing. Live, and we're 13 minutes in. Do I have anybody in the stream yet? One person. Okay. Welcome, one person that clicked on this video.
Yeah. I think that is absolute fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ludwig is a fucking liar. I think he's a fucking snake. And I think he would throw anybody under the bus to avoid a hate threat of his own. Mango. It's fear. If he has any, I don't know his relationship at all with God, if he's a believer, non-believer, whatever. But when you make mistakes in life, you have those reminders in your mind of like, yo, do the right thing. Don't try to do something slimy to get out of a situation or this or that. Like, it's either gonna move and listen to God and be accountable, or be like a soulless person that's willing to just do whatever for yourself, you know, a selfish individual. Everybody has a choice in this life to go on the righteous path or go on the unrighteous path. And in this type of situation, this is showing everybody that like this is not the way to be as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be that type of person. And some people battle, you know, for a long time, maybe with just the fame or whatever, and they don't want to deal with just backlash. But that's life. Like, when you're wrong, and whatever comes with it, you got to be accountable of just dealing with it. I think playing the easy route of just avoiding things and making yourself look like a crappy person, that's not cool, you know? And that's not somebody anybody wants to be. So yeah, I'm curious what his journey is going to be like through this situation. If he's going to just be like, yeah, I was wrong, or if he is so hardened in his heart that like he's going to just continuously just try to avoid this. I don't know, but it's interesting. Obviously f***ed up. Obviously he has his own demons. And to be honest, I hope to God he gets the help that he needs. And honestly, I think it is a good idea for him not to go to streamer events. And also, I'll be real, Mango. Streamer events are gay as fuck. Okay? Break out of the fucking matrix.
Yep.
It's a joke. A bunch of these people, they're not going to talk to you a year after you fucking get out of the
Yep.
stream anyways.
It's
None of these
Hollywood
people
type of mentality, or just everybody is replaceable mentality. You know, it's cloud, it's attention, it's numbers, it's all these things, and yeah, it's a crazy way of thinking. That's the internet. You know, it's a clout world. To actually be normal on the internet, I think it is really hard for people. And I think being normal on the internet, I don't know. I think a lot of people have to genuinely not go into the internet like they're trying to want something. You have to be willing to treat this just like it's a regular day and you're just a person who's just streaming, versus in your mind, I need 100,000 views. I need to connect with this person and get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that's what creates the pride, the ego, all those things. And, you know, I did YouTube for many, many years, and I feel like I was chasing things, and I wasn't, you know, the best person in life as well through learning, being on the internet and just not knowing how to just enjoy it as just something like a hobby or whatever. I think you have to have that mentality on the internet. You can't get lost in the sauce, as they call it, and let pride take over you, because once that happens, then the fall happens, and then you get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Lose everything and then have to build back up. Like, that happens time and time again. You know what I'm saying? I think as human beings in general, just like too much fame and fortune and trying to just like be this perfect person, you ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. Like, if you try to even attempt that, like they do with Hollywood celebrities and all that, like, bro, that's a miserable life. That is a miserable life. People are going to be depressed. People are going to just hate just being this fraud on the camera. I think that may be something with Ludwig too. Ludwig may feel really bad, but Ludwig don't know how to say it publicly because he's scared of losing everything. He's scared of just being real. Like, I'm a human being and I'm a fraud and I messed up and I'm taking accountability. I apologize. That's hard for a lot of people to do because they're scared of losing everything. They're not willing to like have a fall and then rebuild with God leading them, or maybe a different path outside of the internet. Being a real human, it's very hard, I think, for people on the internet, truly.
I actually give a fuck about you. They're talking to you out of proximity. They don't. Once you leave, nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. Streamers are fake as fuck. And,
Yep.
Jesus,
Just so that.
LA streamers are even worse. Austin streamers are bad. Don't get me wrong. LA streamers, they're even worse. I
Yep.
can't imagine any dumb motherfucker who would leave Austin thinking that LA is going to be better. Anybody with 5 IQ would know that shit. Major misplay. And today was another example.
I think it's anywhere, bro. I think anybody that are up there with millions of fans, that a lot of them, you know, maybe full of themselves, just not normal, like not knowing how to even be normal. I think it's a weird thing when you think about it, because you got all these people that follow you, sub to you, you got all this money, you got all these connections, all these things. It's not a normal world. Like, for a human being having that whole shift, I think, yeah, I really think like you got to have God in this life. You got to have God in this life. As a human being, you'll lose yourself. You will lose yourself with all that fame, all that money. I think God gives certain people certain amounts of money, certain amounts of, for example, I guess you would call it fame, like a role in purpose for being a voice on a platform or whatever. But for people that are just not with him and they got crazy audiences, crazy money, yeah, I think human beings can't handle that. You know, I think it corrupts people. Yeah, I really do.
Of LA streamers being fake as fuck, and Ludwig, once again, because I don't know why people are so surprised and why nobody holds him accountable for anything, but I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this again. Ludwig, you are just as at fault for what happened on that day when you invite your friend, a known alcoholic, to your party where you will know that his weaknesses, that his vices will be there, and you don't get him kind of drunk. You get him 4 times past the legal limit, double blackout drunk, near fatal levels of intoxication. You point the camera at him. You say, "Good job, do more." and then you don't make sure he's okay at all. The guy could have died, guys. And I think it's a joke that we're not making the proper people be accountable here.
Yep.
Is what it is. It's a joke that more people.
And then the people around them probably, like, they get pushed back, going to try to say something, probably thinking a way to say it a certain way to sound good. And it's like, nah, you got to just be real and be like, yo, that was messed up for this situation. And also people that are going to try to like just speak and say the right things, be willing to say, yo, what would I call it? I'm wrong for just trying to even jump and try to make myself have a safe face. You know, like if his friends speak up and try to say, yeah, Ludwig was wrong, then they look like fake friends because they're like just doing it because the fans want them. Like, you got to be real in general. Like, yeah, I didn't say this because whatever reason. Like people need to be real. And I think a lot of these people are not real. And I think a lot of these people are just lost up in this internet stuff. I think that's a sad situation for that dude, Mango. That's terrible, bro. That's terrible.
People aren't talking about this shit. Fuck that noise, man. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. Garbage.
Yep.
Pizza Hut's hooking you.
So we got a response, though. Looks like Ludwig actually responded to Tectone. I wanted to watch this today because I was like, yo, what is he going to say? You know, what can he really say?
Hey, YouTube, what's going on? Today is actually going to be a little bit different from my normal videos. Unfortunately, a content creator by the name of Ludwig has invoked my name. And Ludwig has enough viewers where I'll actually give a fuck. Because blasting me in front of that many people, well, obviously I gotta say something, right? Obviously I gotta say something. So we're gonna say something. Now, I would like to pretense this. I know there's a lot of people who don't like Ludwig right now. I know that that's how it is. And I know for me, it's very beneficial for me to say, oh, I fucking hate Ludwig.
Yep.
The guy's a piece of shit.
Yep.
The guy's a rat.
Yep.
And to be honest, I did say the rat, but that's just for clickbait. That's just for views. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, I was actually a big fan of Ludwig for quite a while. To be honest, I still think he's honestly a pretty okay guy. Not really as much as he used to be, but honestly, I got no issues with the guy. But recently,
that's all I was saying. Human beings as a whole are flawed individuals. And a lot of people, you know, especially when I've gotten close to God and I've learned more of just like, you know, it's not a war with the flesh, it's the spirit, you know, like your spirit and having to be renewed. Like when you repent and your mind renews and you come to the understanding of there being spiritual warfare, you come to the understand of just righteousness, unrighteousness. Like there's a lot of stuff that you just learn as you get close to God, and a lot of people that live in the world, you know, a lot of people with fame and all this corrupts people. So he's a flawed individual. He's a human being. And he can always be changed and learn from situations as anybody else. You have to fail in life. You have to fall sometimes really hard to become a better person from any situation. I don't know if he's going to fall really hard from that situation, but I'm just making the point.
I did a little bit of calling him out. I did.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of calling him out because the events that occurred on his stream made me a little bit sick. They made me a little bit upset. And it shook me to my core. And the reason why it bothered me so much is due to the fact that I had that pre-existing respect for Ludwig, that pre-existing affinity for Ludwig. I mean, I even used to steal the guy's thumbnails and titles. Absolutely, I 100% did. I used to consume his content all the time. I watched that whole damn subathon when he was doing that race content. And I think a lot of...
Yo, shout out to his American flag and the anime collection in the back. Yo, got a Minecraft, like got the whatever controllers those are, look like Xbox. Got a crazy microphone. He got a nice little setup up there, bro. He looked like he got a picture of himself in the background with a beard and a bald head.
A lot of people are currently disappointed in Ludwig's actions, and the fact that he won't take accountability for them is honestly quite disheartening. We're going to break this down bit by bit. I'm going to show you the call out. The reason why I'm making this video, I was going to make one and leave it alone because I don't really consider Ludwig a threat to the streaming space like I do other people that I frequently make content on. I'm not a guy who wants drama with anybody and everybody. I never want to be that drama at all. I just want to correct the bully's behavior in this space, which is why I like calling out all of the problematic people, the people giving people false accusations, false allegations, promoting terrorism, saying horrific things about people's dead relatives,
Oh, that's messed
implying
up.
that people are
That's some
criminals
toxic
on baseless
stuff.
claims. Those are the people that I consider threats. However, Ludwig was a very, very, very small man yesterday, so let's go ahead and talk about it. And I want to make this very clear. Ludwig, if you do see this, and this does hurt your feelings, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I want to let you know, I'm not sitting here talking about false accusations. I'm not sitting here talking about false allegations. I'm not doing anything speculative. What I am doing right now is I'm doing a thorough breakdown on objectively what you did that is on stream that is proven by your own actions. If you want to make a follow-up,
It was live. Everything's documented. So can't even say, oh, you're saying this. No, it was live, my boy.
video shit talking me, you're more than welcome to. If you want to make a video talking about all of the horrible shit that everybody fucking does that's been pulled out of their ass, you're more than welcome to. You wanted to stay away from drama, and sure, I don't know if Hasan will approve of you making that video, but if you do get your daddy's permission, then sure, go ahead, you can do that. And that's a little bit of a joke. I know that probably pissed you off. But let's go ahead and get into this shit right now.
This dude's funny, bro. Yo, Tectone's a funny dude. This dude's killing it too. 300,000 views in 9 hours. That's insane. That's insane, dude.
So last night, Ludwig goes live with CDawg VA. He goes ahead and he says this.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures.
Now, I would like to pretense this with CDawg VA is currently 1-3. They're losing very hard. The enemy is up 7 kills. They're both probably miserable as fuck. And as well as they're playing League of Legends, which means they're most likely on suicide watch enough as it is. I don't know how much money you would have to pay me to play League of Legends on stream. Jesus Christ, haven't done that in years. But usually this is how you know someone has chronic clinical depression. Yeah, oh, you can't hear it? Great, let me pull up another clip then.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures that I get to die never having to speak to these people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like a Tectone video. I can die never watching one.
Oh, man. Shots fired. He said, I can die and never watch one. He's like, forget Tectone. He mad at him.
It sounds to me like somebody may or may not have watched my video.
Yep.
I know.
I'm sure everybody is, bro. This dude's getting over like 500 to 300,000 views every 9 hours. That's insane. Everybody's watching Tectone right now.
Ludwig, the thing that's really a shame, and what I don't know if you'll actually believe me for, is that the original video was called Ludwig is a disgusting, filthy, lying rat. I, who have a conscience, just changed it to be Ludwig is a rat. And I think you'd agree after watching this video that me calling you what you are isn't an insult. I'm trying to make you aware of your own actions, not things that I've speculated upon, but things that you have actually done. Not 4 years ago, not 5 years ago, 2 days ago, to one of your closest friends. Now, you expressed that you'd rather kill yourself than watch one of my videos. Well, Ludwig, I have a feeling you sound a lot like somebody who's watched one of my videos. And by the way, if you're here watching my video right now, make sure to press like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications. Let's keep going.
This dude's a dick, bro.
Yeah, it's a good life.
Yo.
It's a good life that I get.
I know. CDawg being a bro, backing up his homie, who's clearly tilted. You know what's really funny, Lud? Trash Taste, CDawg VA, Joey, Giga, they actually invited me on Trash Taste way back in the day. Do you know that Joey used to watch my content on Arc Nights every single day? I actually have a lot of respect.
This is 5 minutes, 41 seconds in, and it's a 22-minute video. I'm just curious. Oh, okay, so he does cover more levels.
Life is expensive. Quality tools
and I
don't
got a
have to
freaking
be.
ad.
Harbor Freight, America's.
Before I go there, yeah, let's just get into the tweets he's about to read. But I do want to see if anybody's still in here yet. And one person's still in here. Cool. Appreciate you, one person.
That you are not responsible for someone else's actions. Ludwig himself. And this is why we're talking about this here today. The only person responsible for someone's actions is the someone that did the action. If little Timmy sees a video of a guy eating a fuckload of Takis and faking domestic violence, and then eats a fuckload of Takis and slaps his crush, Timmy is responsible, not the other guy. I just said your argument is weak. Fight someone else in the comments. How is it weak, bro? Nobody is responsible for what random idiots do but the idiot that did it. The fact that you seem to think that you have this much pull and control over randos that roll up to a stream says more about ego than anything else, to which Ludwig responded, I think there's a lot of good arguments for not having responsibility. I just specifically think mentioning a 1 in 100,000 extreme cases proof of why that should be the case is weak. Weak argument equals weak stance. It's not weak, it's true. You aren't responsible for what randoms do unless you specifically say, hey, go do unshit in my name. Ludwig, you have actively fought people who said that you aren't responsible for someone else's actions. You believe that you are responsible for someone else's actions. By the way, this was in regards to chat policing. This was in place for community policing, saying that a streamer is in control of their chat and a streamer is in control of their community, and they should dictate what that chat and community should do. So if you believe a streamer is in charge of their chat, randoms on the internet, why the fuck do you think you're not responsible for taking care of one of your best friends in a weakened state around alcohol that you know is his vice, a suffering alcoholic in a public on display format in front of hundreds of thousands of people? Ludwig, if you had a fucking spine, you would understand that you fucked up bringing Mango into that situation. You need to wake the up, because if you are going to say that a streamer is in charge of their chat, yes, the streamer host should be fucking taking care of the people in their community.
Right. He was cooking. He was cooking. I'm curious what Ludwig's response really is going to be to the internet. I mean, he's got to be real. It's got to be raw. Like, you got to just say what it is, bro. You know, not make no 10-minute edit type of thing or saying this way or that way where it just feels so fake. It's got to be real. It's got to be real, man. I don't know if it's going to be real or not, or if he's going to try to, you know, do a certain type of video, just like a documentary style video or whatever, like where it's just like beneficial. But yeah, this is the era, man, where you gotta be a real person, bro. A real person. People are not with the fakeness. Not anymore.
Ludwig, you invited a known alcoholic of 10 years to an alcohol abusing festival, and you cheered for this. Ready for this?
So apparently,
you cheered for a alcoholic blowing a .32. You need to see this, okay? The legal limit in America is a .08. Ludwig, he was 4 times.
Gosh, so legal limit is 0.8 for driving many places. 0.40 is potential fatal risk.
Times over that. In the 0.3 to 0.4 zone of alcohol poisoning and loss of consciousness.
That's sick.
Once he got to a 0.32, you say, and I quote, let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, he did.
At 0.4, he was at 0.32. At 0.4, it is potentially fatal, risk of coma and death. At 0.3, you have alcohol poisoning, loss of consciousness, altered mood, reduced reaction time, slurred speech, slow.
Yeah, why do people even drink, bro, knowing these are the risk of it, bro? Like, for real. Like, people say, I can handle it or I like the taste. Fudge alcohol, bro. It's poison, dude. It's poison, kills your liver, ruins just your life. Everything in life just falls apart with it, bro. I've seen it time and time again in life, man. Forget alcohol, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Thinking, nausea, vomiting, loss of balance. This isn't drama, Ludwig. This is you putting streamers' lives at risk for content. He blacked the fuck out. Even his tweets show he has no idea what the fuck happened. He doesn't even remember the night's events. He doesn't even remember doing anything. He was that fucked up, and you encouraged that.
Yep.
Now, some people are saying that he got to a 0.37 later in the party. I cannot verify that. I cannot find the clip, so I don't want to weigh in on that. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to go in on what people are accusing you of. I am only going to talk about what is in front of me. And you putting someone else's life at risk is not good, especially someone who you considered one of your best friends. And here's the worst thing, Ludwig, you can't act like you didn't fucking know. And the reason why you can't act that way is because multiple streamers warned you to not fucking invite him.
Mango was saying that shit earlier.
Mango's been practicing drinking beer for a week.
Okay, Mango is like an alcoholic. Mango can drink 30 beers.
You said, and I quote, Mango is an alcoholic.
Yeah, man. That's a crazy situation, bro. That's a crazy situation. I want to go on to some other stuff to talk about, though, since we are now 48 minutes in, and I may watch this and add more to the conversation later for a video, you know. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting seeing Ludwig versus Tectone in the whole situation. It's pretty crazy. In other news, Jake Paul dips out on Piers Morgan after getting cooked, and apparently Jake Paul is going to be suing Piers Morgan for saying his fights are staged. So we're gonna play this video, then we're gonna read the article. So let's dive right into this.
I'm a killer. I get in the ring with the best people, and you get in the ring with a guy who's 50. He's literally nearly as old as me. The only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you.
Fought multiple boxers with professional records, including Mike Tyson himself.
Peak Tyson, you wouldn't have lasted 10 seconds.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat ass. We can make up hypotheticals. You should go to the gym.
He killed that ego quick, bro.
Hypotheticals. You should go to the gym. If you went to the gym, you.
As soon as he said you went last, the second one, Mike Tyson, he went straight to try to, belittle him.
You're still a fat.
And Piers Morgan, I don't really like a lot of stuff he says on his show, because I feel like he calls himself like the uncensored or whatever, but he'll be ready to try to, like, I feel in ways control the way people speak on their show in a way to be pushing back in whatever they're saying on his show that's supposedly uncensored. You know what I'm saying? And it just, I don't know. I'll just watch it where it's like, yo, let these people speak. Like, sometimes it just feels like you're just trying to sabotage what they're saying in their view while they'll let you talk. And it's like you're over talking the conversation. Like, I've seen where it seemed like he'll over talk sometimes conversation or get triggered, you know, on his show. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Badass. We can make up hypotheticals. You should go to the gym. If you went to the gym, you.
I've been twice this week. You
don't think I can be Mike Tyson? I don't think you go to the gym.
I think you're a great.
That Mike Tyson fight was sad, dude. He just stood like most of the match, and then he's biting on his mitts. You know what I'm saying? And then it just was just terrible. That was such a waste of money. It was $100 fight, I think, or no, not $100 fight. It was on Netflix, but it was terrible, dude. That was the most joke of a fight I've ever watched in my life.
YouTuber.
And he's old too. Yeah. I was thinking maybe he would cook, you know, in the ring because he was acting like he was, and then it just was like, no, it's nothing what people thought it was going to be.
I think that your opinion matters.
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a fuck about your show. You dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise.
Oh, man. Even Pierce was laughing at that joke. But here is the article. Jake Paul threatens to sue Pig Piers Morgan over... Freaking hate this in the way. Over lies in just days after Furious storming off of his show. So it says Jake Paul has ordered his team to vigorously go after Piers Morgan after the TV host branded the YouTuber turned boxer's win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. staged bull crap, is what Piers Morgan was calling the fight. And Paul secured a comfortable points victory over Chavez Jr., the son and namesake of a boxing great. So boos rang out apparently at this fight. I didn't watch the fight at the Honda Center, and people weren't too happy with it being, a W for Jake Paul. And the internet for a while has always been calling Jake Paul's fight staged or not real or not true. But it seems like he's gonna make that narrative change because that people are speaking that way, whether it's through the internet, whether it's through, you know, news reporters like Piers Morgan. I don't know if he's a news reporter, what you would call or put him in a category of, but either way, people that, you know, have a voice, you better be careful because he's going to be suing, or he's threatening that, it seems. But it says TV host Morgan called Paul's latest win an unwatchable farce and suggested the fight was rigged. He also accused the YouTuber of killing boxing. A few days before the fight, Paul had appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored, but he lashed out, as we saw, calling him a fat, you know what? And he says, I had a better fight with Jake Paul on Thursday than the unwatchable farce that took place tonight, is what Morgan wrote on X. Then he goes on to say, the guy's lining in his pockets with money, but he's killing boxing with this born stage bullcrap against older fighters way past their prime. But that promoted a furious response from Paul, who vowed to make pigs such as Morgan pay for their lives. After years of letting it slide as just haters being haters, I have asked my team to vigorously go after anyone who makes up lies about my boxing career. Expect to get served, you pigs, he had wrote. Paul's comments came after his business partner, Nikisa Bedarian, called out Morgan for his baseless and irresponsible post and said they would explore legal action. This claim is baseless and irresponsible, Bedarian wrote on social media, and last night's fight versus Chavez Jr. was fully sanctioned 10-round cruiserweight bout officiated by the California State Athletic Commission with official judges. No staging or rigging, just hard work and legit winning. To say otherwise not only undermines the integrity of the sport, but it's defamatory and causes reputational damage to MVP, Jake Paul, and the commission. Enough is enough. We will be exploring all options, including legal action, to hold accountable those spreading such deliberate and harmful lies. I've actually even seen like titles like that on YouTube, like, was this rigged? Was this? Y'all better watch out, buddy. Y'all better watch out, because this man sounds to be for real about coming for people that are calling his fight staged. They're not accurate, you know, in the W's that have been given to him. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. But however, I did see something very positive and actually cool that Jake Paul had done for none other than Ben Askren, who was in the need of a lung transplant, and I think he wasn't able to get it with his insurance company, which is sad. Like that happened to him when he was in need of a freaking lung transplant. And Jake Paul and Logan and a lot of others have found ways to help him with getting what he needs, which I thought was a W, I will say. So we're gonna play that real quick.
To say a prayer for Ben Askren and praying for his family, and we all need to support him. He has a donation link that everyone should go donate to. I talked to a couple of my friends, me and Logan. We're going to be donating some money, so everyone should go donate to that. Prayers to Ben Askren and his family.
Fire.
Well, I mean, it's just insane.
I will say that is a W move, bro. That's a man move right there. You got the money to help somebody out, and they're in a serious situation. I respect that.
Insurance is a fucking scam, and it's so sad. And right when you need these companies, they're not there, and it's fucked up. And his insurance denied him.
I was talking to somebody about that today, and how it's like, in a way, like a scam. Like, people deal with this all the time. And it's like, why even pay for it then if this is going to happen, you know? Same thing with even car insurance. People say, like, they've had issues with their own car insurance companies, you know, not coming through in situations.
To get the double lung transplant, which is also one of the most expensive surgeries, which is why they denied it. And it just sucks. It sucks that no one's doing anything. I was obviously super busy this week, so we're figuring out the donation now. But none of these people like Dana or anyone's stepping in. So I feel like I have to do something. And
he hates Dana with a passion, boy. That man has been hated on Dana forever. I think because Dana always clowned him. So, you know, there's like a rivalry actually with them. And I think now Dana's like involving himself in boxing, which is just like crazy. I heard something like that. Yeah, throwing Dana in that mix of like, yo, you didn't even help out your own fighters you've had work in your company. Shame on you. You know, like that's a shot. That's a shot.
That's really all it is.
Okay, so W Jake in that situation. And here's what's going on though with Ben Askren, as he has received a double lung transplant from financial support from his former foe known as Jake Paul. The former UFC welterweight champion Ben Askren, who also has competed for Bellator MMA and won championship, recently received a double lung transplant after suffering a life-threatening illness earlier this month that nearly cost the funky wrestler his life. We are so thankful to share that Ben has received a double transplant. Ben's wife, Amy Askren, wrote on Facebook, "We are forever thankful to the donor and his family. This is the beginning of a new lifestyle for Ben, but every new day he has is a gift. It still doesn't feel real that he was walking around completely healthy just 5 weeks ago. So much can change so quickly." Yeah, life is crazy, man. Like that, you never know, man, with life. That's a God-given gift, though, bro. God came through for this man, bro. He had the insurance, not doing what it should be doing, you know, trying to help out somebody in a serious situation. And the money came through that he needed to get that transplant. I think that is a fire situation, bro. I really do. Then it says the 40-year-old Askren retired from UFC after a submission loss to Damien. I'm retarded. Damien Maya at the UFC Singapore in late 2019. Please keep Ben in your prayers that his body welcomes the new lungs as they were his own. Askren continued, "I am constantly in awe of all the people carrying us through right now. I can't wait to tell Ben all about it." Oh, so is this his wife talking here? I'm guessing it is. I'm hopeful that in the coming weeks Ben will be able to give the next update, but hopefully he will wait until the drugs wear off. The average cost of a double lung transplant is $1.3 million before insurance. Whoa. That's insane. Over $1 million. Insurance is expletive. Insurance is a expletive scam, and it's so sad, said former opponent Jake Paul. And right when you need these companies, they're not here. And it's expletive up. I'm so retarded at just certain words. I'm sorry. And his insurance denied him to get the double lung transplant, which is also one of the most expensive surgeries, which is why they denied it, and it just sucks. It sucks that no one is doing anything, as we saw, and he referred to Dana White especially, or specifically. But yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder if Dana White even knew about this, you know? You know what I'm saying? But what else we got here? I think we got some stuff still that we can talk about. No. Yeah. Okay. This is actually something that happened today that was actually sad, bro. A man shot Idaho firefighters who had asked him to move his vehicle, killing two sheriffs. No, not two sheriffs. Killing two, sheriff says. Yeah. Had to read that right there. But it says a man who started a wildfire and then fatally shot two firefighters and wounded another in northern Idaho was a 20-year-old transient who attacked the first responders after they asked him to move his vehicle, a sheriff said Monday. That's crazy. Yo, I heard that he like lured them into the fire and then started shooting them, which is just a tragic situation. What's up, Mango? It's just that just like makes my mind blown how these types of situations happen. Not a lot, but they happen where it's like the unexpected, you know. We have not been able to find a manifesto, the sheriff said, adding a motive was still unknown. Norris said families of the victims are in shock, absolutely in shock, and they're still processing it. 2 veteran firefighters are killed and a third is in critical condition. Just terrible, bro. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I also saw a video where the actual ex-roommate spoke about the suspect who did this, which I was like, yo, that's crazy. How the heck did they find his roommate or his ex-roommate? How did he get, you know, this interview? So we're gonna watch this real quick.
I woke up to a phone call this morning from my brother, and he was like, dude, you're not gonna believe this. I said, what? And he said, your roommate's name was Wes Raleigh, right? And I said, yeah. And he sent me the picture of him, and I read the news. Honestly, I was just freaking out really bad.
Bro, that hat is crazy. I'm sorry, bro. That hat is wild, bro. In an interview, bro. Like, that's wild, bro.
My mom was freaking out. My whole family met him, and they've talked to him, and it's scary because, I don't know, he could have flipped at any time and did that to us or my family, and I can't believe what he did. I mean, that is an absolutely disgusting thing to do. You know, my heart goes out to those firefighters' families because I respect law enforcement and firefighters especially. Towards the end, he started acting a little weird, and I don't know why, but, you know, we just explained to him we needed our own space, and our family's growing, you know, and so, and I just didn't like the whole incident with the gang signs and stuff like that. I don't want, I mean, my kids come here on the weekends, and I don't want them around anything like that. I mean, he left peacefully, you know, he didn't say anything harmful to us. He just left.
So he got kicked out at some point, it sounds like. And it says, a former roommate of a suspect in a shooting in which 2 firefighters were killed and another wounded as they responded to a blaze. Idaho condemned the disgusting attack. In Idaho, which was, disgusting attack that was condemned. Here's the comments. Just imagine the conversations those two had. Signs everywhere. The signs. All these fools detached from reality. Abused child becomes adult wreckage. Who could have predicted that? They said boyfriend. They're calling this dude the boyfriend. Threw him out. That could have resulted in the attack on him. He is lucky he wasn't taken out. He was also thrown out of his parents' home and got slapped with restraining orders due to his threatening him. I don't know how valid this is. I just saw this comment. Stay classy, Idaho. The hat, LOL. Gang signs, question mark. When did he move out? Anyone know? Crazy that info isn't included. Something tells me that his nicest hat, that's the nicest hat he owns. Yo, I was actually reading some of these comments earlier because that's why I brought up the hat when I was pointing it out. I was like, yo, that man really had that as a hat in an interview, yo. That's crazy. That is crazy. Sad situation. What's going on in this world, man? It's wicked out here. And then Asmongold recently just posted he's going to jail, where it says Hasan's Discord administrator and Twitch mod gets completely exposed. So let's see what this is about.
What is this here? Oh, I saw this. So there was an individual. This person has decided to go out, say that Imru hangs out with every rapist that she meets, and to say that Israelis are fine. This had nothing to do with Israelis. It had to do with React content. And this person is making all of this up and farming hate on someone who doesn't even know what the fuck a Zionist is. It gets worse. The person
that's just sick, bro. These types of trolls out here that just say like wicked things about people. I saw, actually looked into what this was about that she was referring to, and it's because H3 is actually going to be suing a bunch of reaction channels because people are reacting to content with no reactions. Basically, like if I have the video playing and then I go, hey guys, I'll be right back, and the video is still playing, then I go back and then I'm just eating food, I'm drinking, and then the video ends. I just had like no conversation or nothing added to it at all. It's just like a video running. So he's like suing people over it, and I actually want to play that video because it gives a breakdown of you know, what this was all referring to as what the girl was talking about, that the dude was calling her like supporting, you know, people that are rapists and all that kind of stuff, like saying wild, crazy stuff, which we'll go back to that video, you know, to see what Asmon is talking about related to Hasan's administer or mod or whatever. But yeah, let's see exactly the breakdown of the lawsuit that he's involving himself in to go after reaction channels.
Is spending hundreds of
or streamers reacting to content.
Thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today I invite you into my home to share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, it's a big conversation called...
And I know I'm going to come back, but I heard my chat. So hold on, let's see. Oh, I think I heard that. Yeah. Yo, it's crazy in that whole world, you know, the streaming world. It is crazy. It is toxic. It's nuts. Like when you just see like the type of people there are in the world, and when it comes to like the streaming world, oh my gosh, bro. You cannot be somebody, I'll be real, that is, you know, not prepared for the internet, because the internet is dark. It is a dark place.
Called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hasan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to...
That man's eating with his head down, bro. That dude ain't doing nothing.
Speak. Most egregious...
That is crazy.
They would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
Bro, that is a wild thing to do.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video.
I used to see people that would do this back in the day when reaction channels weren't as popular, where they would just be sitting for like 5 to 8 minutes and then maybe say, yo, oh, dang, that's crazy. And then they were back to like this. Like, it's the wildest thing you'll watch. I think somebody even watched my brother's videos before, and he was doing the same thing. He was just watching it, but just like, it's like, bro, you got to say something.
A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, you know, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've...
Yeah, asking permission is like impossible if you're like somebody with 40 subs, but if you're like people with millions of fans, I mean, you could easily say, hey, can I react to this? I want to break this down, or I want to make a video about it.
Streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
I feel that.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and this just, we all see this, and no, it's not right.
I'll say this. If the reaction video was, what would you call it? Giving commentary through the whole video and maybe some edits, and it was just like, actually like something you're watching that's not just the video, like the person, and it got more views than the actual author, and maybe it was more entertaining than how the author was, I feel like in that situation, it's more on the people saw that the reactor was more entertaining and breaking down what somebody did, which would maybe be a tough pill to swallow for the creator. But in some situations, there are people that are going to get more views reacting to videos, not because of like, oh, they barely did anything, just because people found the reaction way more entertaining than what they watched when a person made a commentary video. Because there are some people that do commentary where it's boring. You know, some people give it some flavor with a reaction. That's real.
This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called in to my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright? Or like the fact that it's illegal, does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't.
Why'd I say I'd man the grill? I don't man things.
Because.
Well, that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
Do
prime.
that.
Then watch
Bro,
your prime
do
content.
it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get.
Yo.
Okay, sure.
He went straight to doing the worm, saying, yo, I can do other content besides reaction, and he does that, bro. But A, it probably would get 1 million views because it's just something random like that.
I mean, that's content, man. It's original content. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the
Oh my gosh, bro.
worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large...
I like the way he's doing content here, bro. I feel like he lost edge for a while. He was just so unwatchable. H3. But here, this feels like an actually dope video. He even looks healthy here, bro. He got healthy. He used to be kind of fat. He got in his I don't know how to explain it. Weight loss journey or something. He looks healthy here.
Conversation. The problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hasan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts. When Hasan gets up to go to the bathroom or to eat or to talk to his mom or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana.
Dude, I don't want to hear all these people talking. That sounds obnoxious, but he really is going to keep the video playing and say, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. He didn't even push and pause. He letting it run. That is wild.
Do not This operation will result in killing hostages in captivity.
Well, I've been seeing
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video.
Oh my gosh, he's a mastermind. This dude said, I'm going to make a contact nuke video, and I know these streamers aren't even going to give a solid reaction. They're going to title it. They're going to put the thumbnail. They're not even going to have nothing to say, and I'm going to catch them in it. Oh my gosh, this dude's a mastermind.
Video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark.
Oh my gosh. Yo, that's crazy, bro. This got 1.2 million views in 11 days. I wish I would have caught this video when it first dropped. I really do, because this is wild. This is like a big deal. because there are a lot of reaction channels that like just sit there, maybe have 1 minute of conversation in the video. Lots.
One thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Step into Wix Studio and handle every part of your build from one platform.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denim's
Hold on, rewind that. We got to rewind that. My bad.
Follow, subscribe.
Hold on.
If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video,
oh man,
follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
Oh, so they all were watching it on her stream versus going to the video where it don't get no views, and she's self-promoted and getting the following and everything. Whoa. Ooh, that's messy. That's a messy situation, fam.
They just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denim's the queen of self-owning. You prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now. I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hasan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I wonder if there's going to be somebody that's like, forget that, I'm going to go harder than what Ethan Klein did. I'm about to go after channels on channels on channels. I hope it don't create that, you know, because I can see that.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken, these creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content.
Yo, and if you notice, it's like a pattern with this walking away thing. That's weird. Like Hasan, her. It's weird how they're all just happen to just walk away as it plays.
Me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hasan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make...
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Because they're doing this not just to content creators, they're doing it to people that are actually like billion-dollar empire corporations. Oh my gosh. That would nuke Twitch. That'd be the end of Twitch.
Make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? Casey Tron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look?
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul, she's still rising.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission? Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask?
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happened?
And Denim's the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hasan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the complaints. And let's start with my favorite of the three, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical Casey Tron.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein.
Oh my gosh, he's got them all on this freaking videos. Just saying, yeah, I nobody support these videos, but hey, follow me. Like, that is wild. That is wild, bro. This is a crazy video, dog.
So we're gonna watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Casey Tron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Casey Tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes.
This makes society look like a joke, bro. Like, the stuff people can do and get infinite money where they're literally doing nothing. Like, that's just a wild thing to think about. Like, people working real 9-to-5s, grinding, and these people just, like, milking content, getting the traction, getting the donos, and they're just not even, like, you know, commentating. They're just sitting, making money. That's wild.
40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, Casey Tron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey Tron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point, Casey Tron is so wasted that she states,
And I was laughing at you, Mango, because I saw your comment.
quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot." To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
I don't understand this
You're the
bit that
fucking
he's
man,
doing.
dude.
Oh, that just makes reaction channels look so bad. Because, like, think about, like, a rich billionaire that's like, YouTube, y'all need to do something about reaction channels. This is what y'all promote on here. This is what they are. We need to do something about this, when majority are not. Or I don't want to say majority. There are a lot of reaction channels that really don't really put any effort in. But there are people that have, like, dope reaction channels, and they really are, like, content creators and are like, crushing it. This would be a downfall to the whole community because of this. Because it's giving the message of, like, this is what they do. Like, that sucks.
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the
But
hell
you
is
kids love
going
anime,
on?
right?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying.
Oh, I'm a fan of reaction channels. I like reaction channels as well. But I'm saying the ones that just don't do anything, yo, they're giving a bad message to the reaction channel community. And especially when you see stuff like this.
To follow. I've lost the plot.
Because it's making it seem like reaction channels just don't do anything. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. gosh, dang, bro. How many bongs hits you gonna take? 34. Dude.
They do music.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of potheads don't like people to say, bro, you don't get addicted to weed, bro. Bro, she took that many hits while not even saying anything. She's literally just getting high on the stream.
They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what are you? Look.
Oh my gosh. And people watch this? I couldn't, bro.
This isn't a music video, Hasan.
She literally died.
And as dumb
from smoking.
As all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. Without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her is...
I didn't know she could do that on live. I don't know either. I know some people do that on reaction channels I've seen before where they're like smoking a blunt. But yeah, apparently they did. Over there on Twitch, it depends who you are. A lot of people are over there getting away with all kinds of stuff. And if you have a certain political view that aligns with, you know, the popular, not popular, because I would feel like conservatives have become more popular now. But as far as like people that have these corporations, if your views are aligning to maybe their views, you're kind of protected in a way with what you can do. You know, like loopholes. Maybe they'll give you like a 7-day suspension where another person may get 5 months. You know, like a cool type of club, like you're in the club type of thing. You know, I heard they said that with like Hasan, because Hasan has gotten away with so much stuff on that platform. And it's like he don't get like no trouble. Like he's protected, they say. Oh yeah, the hot tub streamers. Yep.
Is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if your commentary consists of you taking...
People get too comfortable, I think, in life of like, oh, well, I'm going to keep doing this or doing this. This ain't going to happen. This is going to happen, bro. Keep thinking that.
Bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry. That was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? I guess the judge will decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
I don't have anything to say, dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? Are you going to make at least one good point? What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing." You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and...
One ordinary family.
4 astronauts go up into space.
I actually want to see this movie. It looks fire. Fantastic Four. I was telling my brother about that. I was like, yeah, I want to see that movie, bro. I got to see it.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
Well, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like, you get up and you go to the bathroom. You just pause it.
Yep.
They should be watching for you.
Yep.
But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video...
And how do you even feel like man, I'm really like making content, you know, I'm working at what I'm doing. Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, you know, I just sit and smoke all day and eat all day, and I just go to the bathroom and I let my fans watch it. I don't really say anything. I get a lot of money. It's a pretty good life. Like that, I would feel like a lazy buffoon, you know, like a sloth. Like I would not feel like happy with that type of living. I don't know, like that's like literally a sloth, you know. I've been lazy in my life, but I feel like I always in ways still would work, you know, with whatever I do. And now as I gotten close to God and just looking at how he pushes me to go harder in everything I do, laziness is just like an ugly sin, bro. It really is. Like the whole thing with try smarter, not harder. No, like try to challenge yourself on doing the hardest things. Like try to go fight against obstacles that are in life. Like embrace it, love it, because being lazy is just, I think it's an ugly sin. I really do.
They're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the nuke ethically? Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from the HP Snark Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while Hasan is in Japan. I'm bothered, having a great time. Exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but
And it's like a club. You know what I'm saying? Like you've heard a few people say that, like the same thing. Like they all kind of like do the same thing. Like it's a clique. I am such a procrastinator. I have been that too. I have been a procrastinator as well. I was a big procrastinator in like school and like rather it's like fear of like, oh, I'll do this, but I'll get to it, and then you're just like listening to fear instead of just doing it, you know? That type of procrastination. You gotta push through it though and just do it. Start doing things. And just watch things change better in life. I think that's the way to look at it, the outlook of life. Procrastination kills, you know, so much time.
I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she chair react, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now?
This dude is cooking, bro. Yo, this video is like good, bro. I mean, he came with it, dog. He cooked.
Now, here's some quotes from Denims. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denim said, quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own.
A prime? I don't even know how much that is. How much is a prime? A prime sub? I've heard people say that. What is the value in a prime?
Included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully,
On the real, ain't there like Pokimane, who's a streamer? I wonder if there's clips of her where she just sits too, and they're gonna go back and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I wonder about that. Because I feel like I've seen streams of hers where she kind of ain't really giving much commentary. Or just acts stupid, you know, in her videos. Like, what? What is that? What does that mean? Kendrick Lamar, what is that bar?
when I'm back, they're done with this.
All right.
You do look
Literally,
better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this.
I have an alternate.
We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it, you know, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here. Because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like Chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live.
What? Yo, these people got to be like dudes that are just paying all their money for this type of streaming, and like it's the attraction that's pulling, you know, the viewers in, and it's like mostly dudes. Because how do you get entertained by people just staring? What? That's where we're at in society? That's where we're at in society, bro. This is entertainment to people? That is insane if that is true.
Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hasan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she's...
I think I've heard of that name, Alinity, Mango. I don't know who that is for sure, but I feel like I've heard the name. You know it is. For a second, I thought she was Alinity. You said you know it is. Explain. You said you know it is. What are you talking about?
You said a lot of incriminating.
Oh, yeah. What I was talking about, how like a lot of dudes just paying like crazy amounts of money for these streamers that like have no entertainment value. I even was talking to somebody I knew that was saying that it's hard to even find like female streamers that are entertaining, you know, and a lot of them, you know, I was saying if you're attractive, you're going to get that attention, and a lot of them that are attractive get that attention, but they have no like entertainment value. And I think there was even like women that I came across that were streaming. They were like, yo, I don't want to be, you know, somebody that's just promoting like, you know, OnlyFans. Like there also are women out here that are just gaming and not trying to, you know, just be like a, I guess you call it like a sex symbol or whatever. Because like a lot of that's in the culture of America. So yeah, a lot of people say like a lot of female streamers, they just promote like these attractive streamers, but like they have no like, they have nothing really that entertains people. The entertainment, yeah. I think Senna, people watch her. I haven't really watched too much of her stuff, but I know people watch her. I know she collaborated with like a lot of the big streamers. One thing I will never do, and I know I don't want to say never, but if you notice like those collaborations are being around the clicks or whatever, I like just doing the streaming where it just feels normal, where I don't have to like be a part of like, you know, a click type of thing. I feel like that's what the streamers do when they get like a certain level, then you connect with this person, that person, and then it just, I don't know, I just feel like it becomes like a business where it don't feel like you're getting on a stream and it's just like you're a regular person. You become like more of a celebrity once you start, you know, connecting with the bigger people. I think it'd be cool to blow up and like be successful, of course, but I feel like a lot of them have to feel like such a different type of person when they blow up and start getting in that circle of like streamers and stuff, where it feels more like a kind of like a business than actually like just streaming. I don't know. I know that's kind of like a ramble to say, but I feel like that's what happens. I feel like that kind of happened with me when I used to do YouTube and cover a lot of music stuff, to where now I just want to just have fun with just streaming and making it feel like just real, you know, and being real.
Things in that podcast. The queen of self-own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like I think filler content, like you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer, and I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. Like I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming it. And it doesn't necessarily.
Oh, you crazy. I love that show. Bro, I loved Hell's Kitchen. That show was like, that's a wild show though, man. That dude was harsh. That dude just like, he was yelling at everybody. He made people have a bad day. But it was entertaining though. I did love that show when I was growing up. Like everybody in my household was watching Hell's Kitchen. To say like people aren't gonna really did she say aren't gonna watch it like that? Let's play that back.
viewers. Like I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people said that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming. And
they wouldn't watch it unless she was streaming. No way. That's crazy. You seem to be having fun, dude. Yeah, I have fun. A little bit of it. In the beginning, I was having fun, then I kind of get burnt out a little bit. But then when you came back in, it made me like be able to just get more energy in it because I can communicate, you know. And I don't know. I think it can get hard sometimes to like keep that energy up while you're not having people comment. But yeah, I am having fun with this.
it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people.
Yeah, but you want to hear people interacting in what they're watching. People want to feel like they're watching somebody be the entertainer for the day, not just like being a viewer. You're the creator. What?
A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their react content almost as a curator.
Or streamer, my bad.
So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos. And they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like, I'm
From the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. If someone watches...
No disrespect, buddy, but I could never. I can do it. No disrespect. Sorry.
Content. I already said this. If someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft, and you're a thief. And now I'm...
And that may have been a little disrespectful as I think about it, but that sweater is a little crazy, man. It just caught my eye. But yeah, I want to play it back because I missed out a few words of what he was saying.
Like, or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft, and you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony.
And he had it marked 17 times. This dude had the craziest, like, I got you video.
To how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public on video and say shit like, I'm stealing this content because I want to. I'm coping even though I know it's stealing. When people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open. Well, there you have it. 3 separate lawsuits for...
And a lot of people don't even know the law. You know what I mean? I don't study it. I don't know everything. And people blindly just start doing things. I mean, I feel like it'd be common sense, though, to know, like, not to just rip off content and just, like, have no commentary or anything like that. You know what I mean?
3 separate geniuses. Now, I want to make it clear again, and I hope it's been obvious about why I'm suing these 3 people and not others. These people not only violated all of the principles of fair use.
I describe these people, though, as having a hardened heart. You know what I mean? It's where, like, you just, like, you're lost, and it's a reflection of where your heart's at. Because I've had a hardened heart in life, and I remember, and it was a crazy thing, because, like, after I got saved, I remember, like, it took a long time to really, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, find myself, I guess. And it's a real thing. Like, people have hardened hearts in the way they move and things they're doing and being lost. Like, there's people that are lost. Like, I describe that as like people that just don't seem to have care what they're doing or have like maybe the understanding. I feel like they have to have the understanding, though. I feel like sometimes they gaslight of not just being real. Like, yo, I'm actually a content thief. You know what I'm saying? Accountability. And if there's anything in their like, what would it be called? In their conscience, like where they know yo, I need to move towards like a better path. Yeah, I hope they would listen to that, you know, because I've had that in moments in life where I wasn't feeling like I was my best self, and then I finally just was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what you know, God's telling me to do, to seek Him, to come to Him. It's a crazy thing because it's a real reality of the world. People are lost out here, and people get to see you the longer you choose to keep on being lost, or, you know, not letting God in, be the worst of yourself, and at a public scale. This is 1.2 million views, and now the whole world's gonna look at them as like lazy, like just the worst of the worst type of people. You know what I mean? But also there are stories where people that you wouldn't see have a comeback, where they tell their story of how they, you know, become accountable and then look and don't really try to look at the past, but knowing it's on the internet, have a comeback where like they are a whole different person, a whole transformation. But yeah, I think it's pretty wild.
They also did it maliciously, and that's the part.
But accountability is everything, though, you know, to get there.
That really got me. I think if you're a reactor on Twitch, for the most part, if you make a good faith effort to comment, and if you make a good faith effort to promote the author, to link to them, to try to drive traffic to the original video, I think you're probably pretty much doing the right thing, and that's fine. And I would never sue someone for that.
Respect.
Take it to these three absolute morons to state their intention.
I'm rocking with this H3H3, bro. This is the H3H3 people. I didn't really watch him like that, but like this is somebody, the way this was like broke down, like this was a good video, like for real.
To steal my property on video, you know, and to all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing.
Oh, they're gonna do that too. Yep. I knew that would be coming.
For copyright infringement. I just have this to say. I don't care. What I do hope, though, is that you'll support their
That's the greatest response, bro.
crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves. Because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a great time.
That was really good. No, I get it. You seem to be having fun. Yeah. That was a fire video, dude. I rocked with that video. So let's go back to the response. No, that's not it. Hold up. Where's the video? Here it is. Yeah. So let's continue back with Asmongold. He's going to jail, referring to Hasan's moderator. So now that everybody has the breakdown, understanding what this is all about, relating to the reaction, which she was saying, they react to people they hate, and they're like, watch me so they don't get any views. You can't do that. And then that's where we saw this person says, you know, this. So yeah. We'll say for all the controversy, H3H3 could break down info, and yes, even with Trisha Paytas. Yeah, I remember back then that a lot of people didn't like how he was doing it, or I don't know if he himself has ever not, I don't know. I think that he's been in situations where people were saying that he's done things that was lacking truth. I could be wrong. I don't want to put that on his name, knowing that man's suing right now. But I remember that back then, where people were like, yo, he's going after FaZe Banks. He's going after this person. It's just his whole life. It's like he's trying to create a cancel culture world on YouTube with the content he's making. And it's like creating a, like, basically if you make it as, like, for example, in Hollywood, when people blow up as stars, there's a cancel culture, like, epidemic in that world. Like, you can be famous for 5 minutes and then it's over. Like, your career's dealing with this, and sometimes dealing with false, you know, accusations, things like that. The way he was creating like this whole world of like drama and like the scoop of all these things, like it made people think he's trying to create a culture to where cancel culture becomes a part of YouTube, and all these YouTubers or people that become famous have to deal with that, like Hollywood people, you know, because it was at one point YouTube was just YouTube, but now it's like superstars, streamers, famous, and like that cancel culture type of thing wasn't really a thing, but now I think it is, you know. Well, that commercial made me hungry. Yeah. I actually had a lot of food though today. I had a pizza and I have a Dr. Pepper or a Coca-Cola. So I'm actually pretty full and hydrated.
It gets worse. The person that's doing it, I know this sounds crazy. They are an administrator, a Twitch mod that has been ordained by Hasan, and it gets even worse than that. Well, this was them, what is this, a few days ago. Attention, if you're protesting in LA today, please stop by the Kobe and Gigi mural and make sure it's still ruined. This person is...
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy. He's encouraging it.
Advocating not only for vandalism as a baseline, but on one of the most iconic basketball players. This is the person right here. This is the kind of loser, repulsive, Asmongold.
And you know who they blame that on too? They're gonna blame that on the protesters that are just regular people that are there. They like, cause I know there's been like a thing with like protesters, rioters, and there's certain types of people that just go, normal people just protesting. And then how certain people get certain blames and certain narratives get created. Like that type of stuff is how it happens when people do that. That's wild. Going to toast sandwich. Be right back. All right.
Gold killed his mother by buying her cigarettes. Guys, again, I don't care about this. This is just simply him talking shit, advocating for vandalism, and defacing Kobe's mural with his daughter. Both of them tragically died in a helicopter accident.
That's just disgusting.
And he did this just a few days ago, and this is one of Hasan's moderators.
And it gets even worse than that, guys. I'm not joking. He locked his account after people found out he had several profiles on Korn sites with his full name and everything.
So if Hasan is wondering why nobody wants to support him and his community, because your community is full of a bunch of weird...
Yo, this is trending. It's almost got 1 million. It's only been up for 8 hours. Number 21 on trending for gaming. Why is it trending on gaming?
Fucking freaks. When it's one of your moderators and this is a person that's representing your community and they're doing this, they're leading hate raids on other partnered streamers based off of a just completely, totally baseless fucking lie, advocating for vandalism. I don't know who this guy is. The more that we find out, the worse it gets. It says, I'd low-key go in heat and start leaking juice from my gaped hole and cage. You were in class and you see this, what would be your reaction? Isn't it? Wait. So this guy's going and making sexual comments about high schoolers, and this is the person that is farming hate on Emiru and telling everybody that I killed my mom, and is a moderator for Hasan. Remember when Hasan...
Oh my gosh, that's such a bad look for Hasan, bro. Oh, that's a bad look. This dude's cooking, and he's only 2 minutes and 16 seconds in, bro. It's a wicked world, man. It's a wicked world we live in.
Was baby raging over XQC and your chats being unmoderated? Yep, that's right.
Whenever your chat was calling me out, bringing my name up for no fucking reason, we're just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up.
Well, the worst part is that the real abuse on his community comes from his moderators themselves.
Tylenol.
That man Asman said, "Hold up, let me cook," and got almost 1 million views. That is crazy. So there was that we covered. We covered the H3. H3, we covered the, yeah, we covered that. Do I have any more? Oh, yeah, Adin, bruh. Yo, so Adin has a lookalike going viral. It looks just like him, bruh. What is this? It's like a doppelganger. This is crazy. I wanted to share this because it says, man, it's going viral for looking similar to Adinross.
No? You look just like that nigga. You look like him too.
No, you look like Jesus.
For real?
You believe?
Huh?
You believe in God?
Someone ever tell you look like Adin?
Yo. That is super similar. That's almost insane how close they resemble each other, bro. I think that was Adin. You look just like that dude. You look like him too. Shout out to bros ready to preach the gospel. I'm not tripping. Ain't that him? The way he says nah is tough. Yeah, that's wild, bro. This man Adin's got to do a collaboration with this dude. He has to, bro. I mean, he is identical to him. That's insane. What else do I got? What else do I got for news related stuff? We did that. Yeah, I think I got everything. I think that's everything today. I was gonna do that. I think this was a Drewski type of he did like a comedic sketch, but it seemed like he was mocking Christians. I wasn't rocking with that. But also I know when people don't know God or they're non-believers, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But I hope at some point in his life he gets to know God, because once you get close to him, that type of joking, you wouldn't even think of doing that when he helps you so much in life with peace, with everything. But yeah. Is there anything going on right now? I wonder. How long have I been streaming? Almost an hour and 57 minutes. Oh my gosh, we got crazy content today. Oh, we really did, bro. That's freaking lit. I really was covering news that long. I think I didn't finish one video though that I said I may go back to. Yeah, it was this one.
Can't act that way is because multiple streamers warned you to not fucking invite him.
Mango was saying that shit earlier.
Mango's been practicing drinking beer for a week.
Okay, Mango is like an alcoholic. Mango can drink 30 beers.
You said, and I quote, Mango is an alcoholic. Should I invite an alcoholic to a beer drinking party? Is it okay for a recovering alcoholic to drink? For some recovering alcoholics, the safe course remains complete abstention, avoiding not just the chemical, but also the psychological triggers associated with alcohol consumption. Well, there we go. That's what Google thinks. Yeah, Ludwig, we shouldn't invite a fucking alcoholic with a known alcohol issue to a beer.
I've actually talked to somebody about this, of where like they knew people that were struggling with alcohol, and how they would have like freaking family members just being like, yeah, we know he's a recovering alcoholic, but we're still gonna drink. You know, like people not even caring. Like that's a real thing, bro. That's a real thing, like where people just don't care like that. Just are like, it's his problem. I mean, nothing I can do about it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, but you can at least, you know, have the respect of having a party maybe with not alcohol, and also inviting somebody that is an alcoholic and being surrounded by alcohol. Like you don't have to do that.
Drinking party. You invited this person personally. And it's like, dude, I literally feel like I'm talking to a child right now. Like, I hate how in big 2025, you're 29 years old. We're pretty much the same age. I'm 31. Now, according to the internet, I'm dead in the dirt, and you still got 1 year left to live. Because once you're 30, then you're fucking dead. That's just how the fucking world works. This is the thing.
The support thing, my thing with the support thing, it is, when it comes down to anybody that knows like addiction, because I've seen people with it, they have to be willing to make the change and want to actually change. People that have experienced where they're years and years have tried to support, but they have to be like, even Eminem said that, like he didn't get sober until he finally wanted to do it. You got to be willing to do it. My thing with this issue, this whole Ludwig situation, he was inviting a person that had a problem and surrounded around people that had alcohol, and also like was encouraging the drinking behavior knowing he had a problem. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to do.
That I don't understand when people tell me, oh, well, now you're covering politics. I'm not covering politics, guys. I'm covering common fucking sense. I don't know how someone is this bitter at me due to the fact that I said, hey, man, don't invite your recovering alcoholic buddy to a beer drinking party. Encourage him at a 0.25 to drink more. Encourage him at a 0.32 to drink more, getting him to a near fatal level of alcoholism. And then when he does things he doesn't remember, then you throw him underneath the bus. Guys, is now permanently banned on Twitch. He's been removed from C9.
Yeah, the whole career of Mango like got tanked and cooked while this dude is clearly battling with like a problem. You know what I mean? Only way he'll get though out of that problem is, many people even will tell you, I've watched so many people say that, where it's like a coming to God moment, where like they had these struggles with alcohol, then they decided to seek God and then overcame it. So I really pray for him. I'm gonna pray for him after I get done streaming, because yo, that's the worst, I think. Not the worst, but it's a tough addiction that people that are involved with alcohol, like it's the worst. I will never, because I've drank before and I'll never drink again. Even for like fun or occasion, drink, because it's literally poison you're putting in your body. Like the effects of it, like what it can do to people's lives, it's cooked, man. There's people that are stuck on it for like 20, 30 years, and that's all they do from morning to the afternoon. And I've seen a lot of people, you know, with those types of regular behaviors. Like even when I was younger, you know, being around like environments where people are like partying and stuff, and a lot of people just drinking all day long. Like it's water. Like it's crazy. It's crazy what alcohol like can do. I don't rock with it.
Which he was like one of the original members, as well as there was one other thing, and now he's banned from all future Ludwig events, meaning after the severe hit in his career, there is no way for him to have a bounce back.
And act the same, he does.
Yeah, I've had one occasion before, so I would be a hypocrite to say like I haven't, but I feel like it's just been a reminder. I just think about alcohol as a whole, where it's just like, yeah, I'd rather just stick with the water or the soda. Just when you see people's lives with it, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know, like when you just see what people's lives become with it, it's like, nah, I'm good.
Off no beers. He's a machine of a man.
He said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000.
He said above 10,000 in a lifetime?
Enabling him?
He's the
She said enabling him? Oh, wow, she checked him in a way.
Valkyrie says, and I quote, "And when someone looks at you like this, with a concerned look like this, isn't this event enabling him?" What did you respond?
You've had a dirty Dr. Pepper? Have you had a dirty Dr. Pepper? I've had a dirty Coke, I think, before, and I did it wrong. It was when I was like in high school. I was retarded. I remember I was drinking wine. I was drinking it was it whiskey and like all this type of alcohol, trying to mix it with soda, and I did it totally wrong. And I remember I think I woke up the next day in a hospital, and I remember everybody never knew me as a drinker, and everybody never knew me as like doing something stupid. And I remember the disappointment from so many people that I just was like, oh, I felt so awful. I remember I was like, I woke up and I go, am I going to jail? And they were like, no. But they were trying to figure out why I would do that on a school night. You know, I was so retarded by drinking on a school night and then waking up in a hospital and then remembering in that incident that I think it had to do with the fact that like I had like a whole past with my dad when I moved in with my aunt, and like I think he didn't let me keep my car, so I think I got like annoyed by it. But I don't think it was like it was because of depression or nothing. I really just liked the way wine tastes, and I think I liked the feeling of like a little buzz. But then from that experience and seeing that experience and how people thought about me in that situation, I think it like changed my moment in that or that instant of being in a hospital, where I don't want to like do that anymore. And I remember even like 2 weeks later, my year in prom, there was a party we went to, and I wouldn't drink. I was thinking of it, but it was like, nah, I think God's telling me, no, don't do it. So I remember I like left that party, and then I hated the taste of like even alcohol because of all those blends I put in it. And I didn't drink for like a long time. And then I think like a few years later, I had like maybe one like fruity type of drink like you're talking about, and it was good or whatever. But then now it's like, as I've gotten close to God and stuff, and I just think of alcohol in general, and seeing this, it's just like, yeah, you're gambling with it, you know? We think we can control a lot of things. We think we can control a lot of things as human beings, but like, we can't. Like it's important to really have a relationship with God, because you really can think you are in control of something, and you really could fall down a rabbit hole of like a bad life, like for example, like with Mango and stuff. You really got to be careful with especially alcohol. Sonic Dirty, I'm retarded, I'm sorry. don't even know how I got on that conversation. It just started coming out of me. But I meant Sonic Dirty. Yeah, I've had that. I don't like them really. I like slushies with nerds and what else? What else do I like? I like Oreo Blasts and the mozzarella sticks. They be busting. They be fire. And also I do want to say, because like I don't know, you know, like people may have had lived a life where like they never had issue with alcohol, and so like they haven't denied. I just think from perspective of just life and experience with things, that I just always felt like, man, alcohol is a risk. But yeah, I could be wrong though, you know, and I'm not telling people what to do. You know, if people drink, do your thing. I'm not encouraging it, but yeah. Let's continue. Oh, blue coconut slush is so yum. It's fire.
Bond with.
He's a two-time champion. He's never lost.
You completely skirt the question and you say, well, he's the two-time champion. Yeah, I would imagine an alcoholic is the champion of an alcohol party. Yes. Now let's keep going here. Now maybe you didn't know what his actions were. Maybe you didn't see him getting crazy. Maybe you didn't see him going over the edge. Maybe you didn't see a weird part of him being unlocked and party on 4K on thousands of people's streams. Maybe you just didn't see. And this is why you're reacting this way after the fact. Oh, let's watch this clip real quick.
Yeah, he's reacting the way of like, if he really is, you know, what I was gonna say, if he really, trying to think of what I can say here. I'm a little brain fart, trying to figure out how I can add to this conversation. Yeah, he put out this video basically where he's like throwing it all on Mango, but like not really saying anything about himself, and saying Mango's had issues and all these things. If there's any part of him, like the real him that's in there, that's like, yo, this is messed up, I messed up, but if I say that, then I'm gonna lose my audience, then I'm gonna lose my money, then I'm gonna lose my sponsors, then I'm gonna be canceled like Logan Paul. I'll say right now, that man's gonna have a miserable life within himself, because he's gonna always be reminded of just like living like a fraud. And so it'd be better to, like, even if you have a hard fall or you get canceled or whatever, to admit you're at fault in some type of way and have accountability. That's a hard thing though to do. Like, I feel like in my life I've had moments where, like, never this situation, but like where I know I've made mistakes or like was wrong in a situation, and I'd find a way to like fight with, like, I could just like try to do this or not, like say this or say that, or I could say this and it could go this way or this way. I think that it's a wrestling with like the perfection. I think these content creators or being a content creator, it's so hard to be a real person on here, because you're thinking of people and what they're gonna think when you mess up. You're thinking of your money. You're thinking of so many things, and that's probably what it is for Ludwig. He may be really like within, like, yo, I want to be real, like I messed up, but also I'm scared what's gonna happen to my career. That's probably what it is.
Well, apparently everyone's just trying to run it here because we got drinks and it's easy to set up.
I'm down. Hi, babe.
His eyes are glazed over. His speech is slurred. He's in an environment where his shirts are off because you thought of a great idea that it should be shirts versus skins. He's immediately trying to touch women. You push him away.
Thank you, Lud.
He comes closer. You know he's being weird.
I got second in the.
It's right in front of you. You know he's being weird.
What the hell is that?
Right?
Borderlands sponsor actually good.
He's still being fucking weird.
It was fun. I was loving it. I love Borderlands 4. But this was the best day ever.
You push him away again. You then try to block him off from Extra Emily. You know very well that he is completely far gone. You know very well he's being weird as fuck. You know very well he's smacking on bitches' heads. You know he's gone. You know he's blazed. You know he's over the limit. What you should have done, and it's very obvious, and I hate saying this, and you're the one who said that you should be responsible for your.
He probably didn't even know where he was. If the amount of alcohol he was saying he had was like beyond the limit, like blackout drunk, to where you remember nothing. So yeah, he was probably completely like beyond gone in that stream, and it was live. That whole entire everything that happened, that was live. People were watching that live. That's the crazy thing.
Your own community. If you did not say that, this video would not be being made. I would say, okay, Ludwig doesn't give a fuck. Clearly, you are trying to give the illusion that you give a fuck. With Hasan saying, and I quote, Ludwig calculates the most friendly, non-offensive takes of all time. Well, in this non-offensive take where you said that everybody was responsible for their Twitch chat and community, you need to be responsible for what happens at your parties. You know he was being weird. You chose to keep him on the stream because he's the two-time champion. You need him for content. You need him for views. You need him to make this event epic. And you know he was being weird as shit. You couldn't have just said, hey, man.
Yeah, I really think if that is what he's saying, Ludwig has lost in the content creation, the looking at things as views, like just in that fake world, like you're not even a real person. Like how they say selling your soul, like part of his soul is like not there because he's like this. He's in that content world and just being able to be yourself and be a regular person as a streamer. I literally said this. I don't know if you saw this, Mega. I literally said this, that I think people that get famous and they get the money and then they're in that world with content creation, it corrupts people. I think a lot of these people, these streamers, like they're really living in like a fantasy world. Like they don't even know how to really be themselves, or they don't even know what like being real really is, or they do, but they don't want to even try it because their audience may cancel them, or they may not keep the same. They're thinking just so much of like just keeping that image and just everything being so perfect, and that is the most miserable life you're gonna live, because you're gonna know deep down in your soul you're a fraud. You know, I used to be so perfect on the internet, or try to be perfect and all that. I hated it, and I feel like so many people in this life, they try to be so perfect. They try to like upkeep that image. They try to be politically correct. They do all these things. And that's gonna, at some point, I don't know how people can live like that forever. I really don't. I'm glad I got to know God, and I've changed a lot in my life, and I have confidence more than I ever have, and I'm able to just be real. I don't know how people can continuously live like so perfect. I don't understand that, because that's not fun. Like all these celebrities, all these famous people keeping up that image and just trying not to be a human on camera and be like, yeah, I'm flawed. Like, yeah, I make mistakes. Like, yeah, I'm a dirty rag dog. You know, like I need Jesus. Like, it's just crazy to me how people can just continuously just try to be like perfection. Not gonna happen. You're at some point it's gonna fall, because pride always happens, and then the fall happens. You see it time and time again. Because humans aren't built to be perfect. You're not. And literally it gets them into trouble. Yeah, like human beings try to be perfect in this world. When you're seeing the views and you're seeing the fame and you're seeing the money and everything, you're just wanting it to keep going and going. Like that's a dangerous way of living. Like it changes you, because you're becoming a bot. You're just like, I don't know if they call it's desensitized the right word or whatever, but like your soul literally becomes slowly faded away. Like you don't even know how to be a regular person anymore. That's not a fun life. That's why you see people not happy with money. You see people not happy with fame, because they're a fraud. They're living as a fraud. They're not showing any like real flaws or being real about the flaws they have in life. They're trying to like literally be this perfect person like they're God, and you're not.
You're too fucked up. Called him an Uber and got him out of there. You kept him live on this shit. You know he was being weird the entire fucking time. And his life is now completely fucking ruined. Now, obviously, I know there's some things that happened with your dad. I'm not going to bring those up. There's a lot of people who want me to bring those up, and you know what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say it, because I don't feel like crossing that boundary. But if anybody should know the effect of alcoholism, it should be you. You should know damn well how bad that is. And it's a shame, rather than showing any remorse, you say, fuck Mango, he's never invited, he fucked up by himself, nobody else played into that. You set bro up for disaster. And you know he did. You know you did. You took an alcoholic, you brought it to your party, you were warned to not do this. You were questioned, hey, isn't this enabling him? Your other friend said, hey, the amount of alcohol he's drinking is very dangerous, we should stop. You say, no, we need to get those numbers up. You get him to a 0.32, blackout levels of alcoholism. He acts weird. You see him being weird. You don't step in. You don't remove him. You let him continue when he doesn't know what's going on, and now his life is ruined forever. You could have apologized.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a fall regardless in this situation. Could be wrong. I don't know how this will all play out, but this is a bad situation. It could have been worse. Like, something could have happened to dude, and that would have been way worse. But like the fact he was just like not even obviously showing accountability for encouragement with it coming when it comes to drinking, and then you know, him talking about the content part of it, like views wise, it's good for views. Oh man, that's a twisted life displayed, you know, to the public. And so now, yeah, he's either going to be accountable because of the pushback he's getting right now, or he's going to try to continuously just try to ignore it and see if he can maneuver and let it cool down. But I think we're in a time now, if you are being a fraud, or if you're being a liar, you're being all these things, which every human is flawed. Everybody can get saved and rechange their life and grow as a person. That's why Jesus died. Like, we are all terrible people. We really didn't deserve to even be saved. But if he tries to you know, not be accountable and try to maneuver, I think we live in a time now where like people aren't with the fakeness no more. People are waking up more and checking you more, to where you can't just like maneuver and be sneaky. I don't think so. I think people are way past that, and they want realness when they're watching somebody.
Apologized. You could have maybe helped him get into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, though judging by your actions, you most likely would bring a kegger to an Alcohol Anonymous meeting. You set him up to fail. You ruined his life. His wife is in shambles. And while I agree Mango did fuck up, and I absolutely agree, he is responsible for his own actions. You are responsible for bringing your friend into this incredibly dangerous
Absolutely.
environment. You are. And you can be upset at me. And the reality is, Ludwig, if you are upset at me, you want to know why that is? Because you're not actually upset at me. You're upset at yourself. You know I have not misconstrued anything. You know I don't have an agenda against you. I have no pre-existing hatred for you whatsoever. In fact, I've been told by a lot of my friends, old friends, that I should hate you, and I don't. But I think displaying this level of child...
Yeah, that's wrong, because when it comes to this life, we ain't at war with the flesh. It's the spirit. It's the spirit, because I mean it goes deep. I will say, like when it comes to the understanding, once you get saved and stuff, and understanding spiritual warfare, and understanding like even like how people get spirits rebuked out of them and they just transform into a whole different person. Life changes, just wisdom, knowledge, everything that you thought you knew and you just had no idea about changes. But yeah, that whole perspective, like we should hate this person because they're doing this or they're lost or whatever. You're really playing yourself, because every sin is equal to all sins. You know what I'm saying? And when you get that perspective, it's like, no, you should be praying for that person, but also be a real person like he is. Like, yo, be accountable. Like, is this who you want to be in this life? Do you want to be a crappy person? Like I'm coming from a place of love. I'm coming from a place of like truth. Like, do you really want to be like that in this life? That's important to be towards people, because it is coming from a place of love, but it's coming from a place of truth. Like that's being a real person. Like when somebody is like lost, like when God moves you to like talk to somebody coming from a place of love, but like truth of like, yo, I ain't pressing you or nothing. Like, you can do what you want, but like, are you sure you want to be this type of person? Is that really you inside? Like, do you want to be that person? I think that matters. A lot of people are not very real with people like that. And a lot of people are very hateful and just like, yeah, forget this person, F this person. but I like that he sees it a little different. I don't know him at all, but yeah, I'm the same way with that.
And this lack of any empathy or support or caring for your friends is disgusting. And I hate this world of streaming that we live in, where we're willing to throw anybody under the bus if it means saving our own skin. You couldn't even take a little bit. You couldn't even take a little bit of bad PR to ease it up on him even a little bit. You said, nah, fuck him. It's all his fault. I can't believe he did that. You said, oh man, disgusting. I don't condone that. Oh, pathetic. Not me. You couldn't have said.
Yeah, because I've experienced it. I feel like I've been a terrible person in life. And I feel like I used to battle with warfare in like moments where it was so weird. It's like God, you learn God's always been there in those moments of like in your conscious of you're doing wrong and he's trying to like point you to do right. But then you're learning that you're not saved yet. So you're going to continuously like with certain, like, of course, even after being saved, like you're still human, you're going to make mistakes, but it's like you overcome and really get to see like how he saved you and like from sin, like certain sins you may have done that you no longer struggle with or have issues with, like they're like gone. But it's like he's always been there when you go and reflect back in life of when you were doing wrong, and he's telling you that, and he's trying to lead you, I feel like, in a way to him. And then when you hear people that spread the gospel or say repent, I used to be terrified of that word. I don't know why, and a lot of people are. It's really just asking for forgiveness so he can come in and help you. A lot of that would lead me to it. But I remember when it came to life with inside, I hated how wrong I was in life and as mistakes I were making. And I feel like a lot of people deep down, that's why you can't judge people, they say, when they're lost, because your heart is so deceitful and people don't really have the knowledge of truth, and they don't really understand like what this is, like this life, and how we really are in an evil world, and there's warfare, and there's a lot of like craziness that people really don't see and know, to where deep down Ludwig could be like, yeah, I hate this person I am. I hate that I'm willing to like be willing to protect myself and try to do stuff to keep my audience and just care about all these things I got going on, and just I want to do the right thing, but I can't because he's got the devil in his ear trying to keep him on the wrong path and just do what's going to be for selfish reasons, protecting self, and instead of listening to God on the other ear saying, no, do the right thing and come to me and allow me to help you and save you and teach you, the ways of life, the righteous path. But a lot of people are battling with the devil in there to keep on that wrong path. So him as, I don't know if he's a believer or not, but I would think by the way he's moving, he's not. And God comes to everybody at the right time. So if he falls, he definitely, I could see, I would hope, telling his journey after being saved of how his mind was wrong in the wrong things and wrong in life, to where he has a story to tell. So yeah, I think a lot of people, when they're moving and doing selfish things, they're not wanting to, but they're battling with fear because they're scared of being real about messing up and what's going to happen once they say something out loud of like messing up, like what comes with that. And I feel like I've dealt with that in life before too, many times, and looking back at life that I hated. And that's why I was saying a lot of these celebrities, all these people, they live with guilt and shame and regret, and then they have all this money and all this fame, but they're really miserable because they're human and they ain't perfect, and you ain't ever gonna be perfect. And that's something that a lot of people could really be free and could really get like their sins washed away and change their life for the better and become truly free, like as God literally, like, man, like even with following what he says to do, like people look at it as like, oh, he's trying to change your life or make it where you can't have no, like you'll learn just how freedom really is the more you listen to what he's telling you not to do. It's helping you, like everything's to help you. But like talking like that or people hearing that, people that ain't there yet, it may ruffle that flesh or whatever it may be that like pushes people away. Oh, he's like a fire and brimstone type of person, or he's this, like people get frightened of just hearing real and truth, but they know deep down it is. There's so many times where I was just like, yeah, definitely need to go to God, but I'm scared of what's going to happen, or am I going to be held accountable for this or this or this? Like, a lot of people think that you don't know what's going to happen, but you should be willing to just see what happens and be a good person, or try to be, you know. I think nobody wants to be like deep down wrong. Like, I feel like that's just like an unhappy life. Have a peaceful life. That's what I would say. I'd want peace.
Man, I feel horrible. Mango was my friend. I knew he was struggling with alcoholism, but I invited him anyways. I was warned, I didn't listen. People warned me again, I didn't listen. I fed into his weakness, I fed into his vices, and he fucked up, and I hate the fact.
Yeah, it is. Because you don't see. It's all faith. So it's like, yo, I know I made so many mistakes in life. And so now that that he just washes it away and forgives it and even forgets it, you know, then learning to forget, you know, your past yourself, and then learning to forgive yourself, and just learning to really have a new life, and you're really a new person, you're really reborn again. That is also the crazy journey. Because the first year, it's like you're battling with like just thinking of all the mistakes you ever made. And then there's even times where like you may not have been led to go and try to fix things, but you'll do that. Like I even was like apologizing to people I feel like I did wrong to in life. It's a crazy journey. But yeah, a lot of people need God, and they really do, because they're not living free. You're living in invisible chains. You are.
Once again, I'm going to say this for the third time in this video. Mango absolutely f***ed up as well. But Ludwig, so did you. And you need to take accountability. Don't do this shit. Because you want to know why more people aren't calling you out? Because they know you're a figurehead. They know you're a ringleader. They know if they hold you accountable for your own actions, they won't get invited to the next big streamer thing. And that's why these people don't call you out. Because they know they want the clout. And you know that's true. You know a lot of these people don't actually give a fuck about it.
I do believe that too, about the clout. Because if you kill a relationship and he ever gets in not him, but if Ludwig gets in a situation to where, say he dodges this bullet, and then people that try to call him out, he just disassociates with them, and then they don't have that connection and opportunities or all that type of stuff. Yeah, I could see that. It's such a crazy thing, like how that thinking is, you know.
About you, they only care about what you can do for them, and that's the truth. When all this shit's said and done, it's a shame. I think the streaming space is already disgusting, and to be honest, I think it got a little bit more disgusting over the past couple days. Let's take some accountability, guys. Let's try to be good friends in a space full of piranhas and full of pieces of shit. Let's just try to help our friends. Let's not set them up for disaster. And when you see someone fall, you don't have to kick him in the nuts. Take some accountability. I know you're 29. I guess 2 more years till you gain empathy, just like iDubbbz. I'm out.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and...
That was a good video. So yeah, I covered the Ludwig today. Yeah, I covered a lot today, actually. 2 hours and 56 minutes. That's crazy. I wonder if the gaming will be good. I want to try to put on a game. Hopefully my stream will do well. Because last time, once I put on the game, for whatever reason, my frames dropped. Let's see. I'm actually kind of hungry right now. Might give me a snack.
thing I've learned in all my years as a shaman, it's to always keep an eye out for feathers.
Oh my gosh, bro. What am I supposed to do with that? Oh my gosh, bro. I must have to do something with this. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. Hold up. Oh, man. There we go.
Look there. Maybe this sharpshooter fellow can help us. Let's defeat those woodies and free him. My, a woody shaman. They can be very dangerous, Tack. Be careful.
supposed to regenerate them. Hold up. Bro, go down. There we go.
Excellent, Jack. Your shaman powers are growing. Now you can enhance your attacks with juju and dish out some big damage. Hold down
Alrighty. Ooh. Now I can free the bear. Wait, did I already free him?
A boar. They are very territorial and at home in the mud.
I remember them things on the first one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Avoided that thing.
Boars are stinky. Maybe we should try getting stinky ourselves.
Oh, this man said you are not entering my home. There we go. Oh, come on, dude. There we go. Bro, die. What? How do you die? There we go. There's more. Yeah, don't regenerate, buddy. No. Yes. Get a life, pal. Uh-oh. Oh, freaking squirrel got me.
Shaman can raise their defeated fellows. You'll want to try and get rid of them first. Well done.
Lit. Oh no!
We must cross that bridge.
We have to wait for a break in the woodies.
Hold on there, not so fast. You won't get away that easily, Woodies. Ugh. Now, with your only means of escape destroyed, you have no choice but to deal with the warrior lock. Oh, hey! Not so fast. Whoa! Oh! Let's go easy on the lock.
Lock will be okay, but how are we gonna get across that chasm?
We'll need the help of a juju. If we bounce on a bear from up high, we can get a higher bounce.
Oh, yeah! Woo! Hey, how did you... Aren't you supposed to wait until I put the tiki in?
I knew you were going to put the tiki in. I read minds. I foretell the future.
Oh, well then you know what I'm gonna ask you.
How you can cross the chasm, I know. I sense there will be a new bridge.
Great!
In 10.5 years.
What? Oh, that's too late. That doesn't do me any good.
I know. You're sad.
No, I'm not sad. I just have to...
You're afraid of the dark.
No.
You're lonely. You feel like a lost little boy.
Wrong.
You cry when no one's looking.
What?
And most of all, you miss your mommy.
Oh, great buckets of juju! He's reading my mind.
Oh, yes, you. That is who I meant. You want to cross the chasm. Nearby, in this woodland, are 3 unusual magic stones. Fetch them for me, and I'll show you how they can be used. Don't come back until you have all 3 stones.
Tell me more, oh great juju.
First of all, I have to tell you, I can't believe what you did to your puppy.
Oh no, of course you fall. Are you serious? Dog. Yeah, they're gonna end the stream, give me some food, and then chill and watch some TV. Appreciate everybody that tapped in here. I still see there's one person in here. Thank you for watching. And I will be live tomorrow. I think I got a lot of content for sure tonight. A lot of content.